and welcome to another Jet Check-In. I just got out of the shower, so I may be a little wet, and I do have a lot to say today. So I'll be telling a bunch of stories, not in any particular order, just kind of as they come to me. I might try and tell the stories in the order of how they happen throughout the day. I don't know. Yo, Scavenger, welcome to the stream, and thank you for smashing that like button. That's rather early. I haven't even started with the story yet. So I'm actually curious what you would like to hear about. So I'm gonna name a bunch of like things that happened today. Just name them and then see what things like draw your attention. And I'll even start by just naming people that were involved in the day. Would you like to hear about like the Kindle thing, the Chastity thing, the Naya thing, the Scavenger said craziest thing last, so save the craziest thing for last. Okay, I'm fine with that. X said Dragon Ball Super Topo now. Ooh. And then Scavenger says go with the most boring thing first. Interesting. Okay. So, most boring thing first. I'm down for that. So when it comes to the most boring thing first, I would have to say I've gotten into this new meditation style. Scavenger said build tension. I dig it. I've gotten into this new meditation style that's called, and I'm going to butcher this name, it's the Table of Chartres, or something like that. X did a good comparison with the build tension. He said, I don't think that's a good setup. He said pussy first, head later, which would imply the more exciting thing first, and then the other thing later. Not spelled with a Z. X tried to spell it. So X said Chartraz. It's Chartres. So I think it's Chartres like that. And it's probably more like Cartres or something. I know it's French. But the Table of Chartres meditation style, upon like looking at it, doesn't really look like a meditation style. Instead, it looks more like an optical illusion test. Rage Hunter XD said, thanks of a good punchline. X said, well, fuck him backwards and call him Billy when it comes to him not knowing the spelling. I don't blame you, it's French. How would you guess? Also, don't forget to smash that like button. Right now I'm just telling stories about my day. Going from most boring to most exciting, which as I go forward, I guess that'll be harder to determine. But I know this is boring, so I can cover this pretty well. Scavenger says, not Scavenger, X says he's got a French class. Oh, I see. So you're like learning this kind of thing. Violent Sloppy Toppy said, hey, I'm going to call you Sloppy. You know Sloppy, welcome to the stream. X said, also he has a life. He doesn't have time to just be doing stuff. Sloppy says that they need that Sloppy Toppy. Welcome, Sloppy. Don't forget to smash that like button. Sloppily, if you will. So, the Table of Chartres is something that I never would have learned about if it wasn't for the Journal of Consciousness and Cosmology. There was a peer-reviewed research article in which they make this crazy statement where they say that you can allow your consciousness to transcend the fourth dimension by completing the Table of Chartres meditation. And I was like, oh, well, I gotta learn what this is now. I gotta do it. X said, yo, Toppy, I know someone who got you. Vegeta said, hey, babe. Yo, Vegeta, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Right now, my thing says I have 3 viewers and 1 like. I don't know what's going on. Right now, I'm telling a bunch of stories about my day, going from the beginning, like the most boring stuff, to the most exciting thing, leaving it for the end. Recommended by Scavenger in order to build tension. Scavenger added in an advertisement. He said, go check my Insta at Christian the Spider. Vegeta said I just liked, but I noticed that my thing still says 3 viewers and 1 like. So I don't know if it's broken or what. Oh, now it says 3 viewers and 2 likes. X said, 4th dimension, my ass, I'm dying in the first. Vegeta said, bruh. Scavenger says, not Scavenger, X says that they liked, but it currently says 3 viewers and 2 likes. So I don't know what's going on. I think the streams recently have had like a weird error with how it displays, because Vegeta left a comment on one of the videos I did with Ryan that said that people talked in the live chat and I didn't respond. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Vegeta said, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with the error thing? Well, I don't want to miss anyone's messages, and I don't want to like misinterpret numbers if the numbers are incorrect or anything like that. Scavenger said 3 and 2. Okay, so this isn't an error. It just actually is 3 people are watching, but only 2 people liked. X is like, I liked on my mama. And Vegeta said that they liked, but I know Scavenger liked, because Scavenger liked as soon as he showed up. Scavenger said, we need 3 and 3. I don't know. X said, I have, question mark? Yeah, you said you liked on your mama. I don't understand. Imago said, hey, yo, Imago, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Oh, real quick, I still have a little bit of mucus. I'll be right back. The mucus thing is still annoying, but not as annoying. Let's see. X said, Sunday, titty, or pussy? Neither. You know, I'm abstinent. I don't really care for sex that much. Imago said that they just jacked and they're relieved. Congratulations. I don't know what you expect me to say. So when it comes to the table of Chartes meditation, it's essentially 2 images that represent tables that you look at, and they're red and blue. And essentially, what you're supposed to do is cause yourself to have double vision so that you see 4 tables. Then you turn the 4 tables into 3 tables. The table in the middle is the one you focus on, and you at will change it from red to blue and blue to red. So you change it back and forth. And it actually is really interesting, and it does get you in this other state of mind when you focus on it. So let's see. X said sexist. Then Scavenger said blue, cuz, in reference to the blue and red colors of Table of Chartres. X said sex is a way of life, and then he said clicks Pussy Z. Pussy Z sounds like a porn parody of Dragon Ball. Vegeta said he likes chicken. I'm not a big fan of chicken. Vegeta said Supreme. Blade Batons asked, are you still a real-life superhero? I don't really patrol anymore, but if I see crime, I'll report it, kind of thing. And I've always had the same policy for certain crimes. There are certain things that I don't report because I feel like it makes more sense to report the root of the problem rather than little bits that trickle down from the problem or whatever. Let's see. Montel said hi. Yo, Montel, welcome to the stream. Also, don't forget to smash that like button, everyone. It shows that you support the channel and that you like to see more videos like this. Let's see. X said that he does crime for a living. I doubt that. Blade Batons asked, do I smoke weed? No. I'm above the influence of drugs and alcohol. I've never wanted to do that kind of thing. It doesn't interest me. Oh, we had a stream error. We had another stream error, so you may experience some lag. Montel said 420. Nah, not about. Just a gay. Let's see. But the Table of Chartres meditation is a meditation style that... Also, thank you for smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it. The Table of Chartres is a meditation style that seems like an optical illusion trick kind of thing. I learned it from the Journal of Consciousness and Cosmology, and it claims it allows your consciousness to transcend the 4th dimension or whatever, and I've learned how to do that meditation. That's the boring story that I wanted to get past. If you want to Google it and learn more about it, you can go on Google and type in Table of Chartres meditation. Chartres is Chartres. There's also some weird lore that connects it to the Round Table and the Holy Grail, and it's a gypsy thing. So there's a whole bunch of weird stuff. So if you want to Google that, feel free to. I've learned a lot more about gypsy culture as of recently. Blade Baton said, lol, I'm just kidding, when it comes to all the drug stuff. X said, nah, that he used to smoke. And he said that it was good at the moment, but then it messed him up. So X, does that mean you stopped smoking from that experience, or what? Kratos said Nexus. I've actually been playing Card Monsters a lot more recently. So I feel like that's another boring topic that I can cover quickly. Card Monsters is a game where you have 8 monsters and 8 items in your deck. So you have 16 cards total. You don't have one hand of cards, you have 2 different hands of cards. So one hand is your items and one hand is your monsters. You can have 2 items and 2 monsters in your hand at a time. Essentially, there's a timer for each round, so you can only have rounds that go up to, not rounds, you can only have entire games that go up to 3 minutes total. So it's fast-paced, you can play it on your phone, and it's easy and it's free. So I recommend that you guys hit up Card Monsters. I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of Card Monsters videos in the future, because it's just faster to play games, and it's a simpler game, and you have way more options for decks, because you only have 16 cards total. Let's see. Scavenger said smoking is not life. I agree with that. Above the influence, but it's up to each person's discretion what they want to do. Blade Baton said they want a Rocket City reaction video where I watch my old Rocket City Crime Fighter react. I watch my old Rocket City Crime Fighter videos and I react to them. Eventually, Bloody Batons. I'm sure I'll get to it. Scavenger said Nexus in all caps. I'm doing more card monsters at the moment. That doesn't mean I'm done with Yu-Gi-Oh videos, but I'm trying something new. Let's see, Vegeta said, smoke with bitches. No, thank you. There's actually a story about that later on in the stream. So stay tuned. I feel like that's going to be the most interesting story of the stream, so I'm keeping it till the end. As says Scavenger. X said, Dokkan? Never been a Dokkan fan. But there is a browser Dragon Ball Z game that's coming that's multiplayer, and I am interested in playing that with you all on stream when it comes out. Blade Baton says, it's been like 5 months, Jet. You can't keep jiving me of the Welsh reaction vids. I agree. It has been a long time, and we will eventually get to it. I just have a lot of other things. I have a lot of videos that I want to work on and make. This video's barely started. I actually did a lot today, so I have a lot to talk about in this check-in, and I'm saving the most interesting thing for last, as Scavenger requested. If Scavenger hadn't requested that, I probably would have started with the most interesting thing. X said, yeah. Vegeta said, Nick, smoke some Rocket City Relish. I'm surprised how that Relish thing has caught on so hard. But yeah, RLSH is real life superhero. Scavenger said, new kicks, boy. This is unrelated, but if I was to get some new shoes that were like not just a newer pair of the shoes I already wear, and it was something fancy, I would probably try and get some of the new Adidas Dragon Ball Z shoes. They have some Majin Buu shoes that look really ugly that I would never wear. But the Friezas look good. I like the Frieza shoes. I normally wear white shoes, so I could see myself wearing the Friezas. Vegeta said, what happened to your hair? Didn't it look like an afro? What is everyone talking about? Hasn't my hair been like this for like a good minute? Like, is it actually different from how it was like in previous recent videos? I don't understand. Vegeta said, now it looks like noodles. Didn't it look like noodles recently? I don't understand. Scavenger said, let the man do what he wants and talk. So Scavenger's like, where are the jokes? I mean, not where are the jokes, but where are the stories? I do have a lot of stories to share. But I do want to read through the chat, because I don't want to alienate anyone who's like speaking in the chat. But I do also, like Scavenger said, want to cover the stories, because I do have a lot of stories to talk about. I just did a lot today. Blade Baton said, have you read Nightwing Rebirth? So have I been reading the DC Rebirth title of Nightwing? Because the answer to that question is no. However, my friend Allison keeps up with it, and she'll tell me things about it as it goes on, so I know a little bit about it, but not a lot. Vegeta said, reactions are for plebs. Vegeta said, Adidas? He said, they have Dragon Ball Z shoes? Yeah, they're dropping a bunch of Dragon Ball Z shoes. So the cells look alright, the Majin Boos are ugly, and the Friezas are on point. I think the Friezas look the way I would want them to look. Let's see, Scavenger said, wait, they got DBZ shoes? He said, I'm gonna go buy some. Blade Baton said, can you give me drink? I can't, like, through the phone give you a drink. Though I feel like in the future that this video is going to be dumb, because I will be able to give you a drink through the phone. It'll be a weird thing where I can, like, send the ingredients list to your 3D printer and it pours you a drink or something dumb. Vegeta says, same, I need a pair. So he's excited about the Adidas Dragon Ball Z shoes. Vegeta said, what's it called so I can check it out? If you Google Dragon Ball Z Adidas, I feel like it should come up. It should just straight up come up. Bloody Baton said, give me milk, give me milk. I can't give you milk right now. I'm not gonna, like, ask Amazon to ship milk to your house. That costs money. I need to know your address. I gotta log into my Amazon. Too many problems. Vegeta said, people are gonna call us weebs, bruh. For having Dragon Ball shoes. No one will know. Like, the Dragon Ball Z shoes use, like, the color palettes of the characters, and they don't really use symbols. The Capsule Corp shoes use symbols, but you'd have to already know what Dragon Ball Z was to understand the Capsule Corp shoes. Also, the Capsule Corp shoes are alright. I would say they're, like, under the Frieza shoes. Like, if I had to tier them, Frieza's are tier 1, Capsule Corp shoes are tier 2, Cell shoes are tier 3, and Majin Buu shoes are tier 4. Going for 1 to be the best and then 4 to be the worst. Bloody Baton said, "Are you Donald Trump?" No. Let's see. Vegeta said, "Bloody, you want my cum, bruh?" Well, I guess that's a question for Bloody. I can't answer that. Scavenger said, the Cell shoes are dope." I think that's alright. Vegeta said, "Hybrid, is it Adidas?" Yeah, it's supposed to be Adidas. Scavenger said, "And the Vegeta ones are hella fire." I actually haven't seen the Vegeta shoes yet, so I have no idea on that. Also, I noticed we have 5 viewers and 4 likes. Don't forget to smash that like button to show that you enjoy the stream and you like what we're doing so far. I actually have a lot of stories to talk about today. Let's see. Bloody Baton said, "I used to be your sidekick, Jet." You used to be my sidekick. Is Bloody Batons trying to reveal that Bloody Batons is actually someone that, like, I know and I've patrolled with, and they've been going under an alias for a while, but is actually someone that I know? Scavenger says, "It is Adidas." Bloody Baton said, "I'm Blood Ninja, and I'm here to get revenge." That would be an interesting plot. I'll be honest. Because I haven't seen Blood Ninja and Neon Ninja for a long time. They're people that I used to patrol with back in the day, with the Rocket City Crime Fighter stuff. They're like junior members. That plot line reminds me of what I wanted Incredibles 2 to be. Because I wanted Incredibles 2 to be Dash and Violet are older, and Jack is a villain. So we get to see how they grew up, and we get to see them develop more as characters and have more of an infight in their family. And see them try and shape their family back together, or possibly fail to. Scavenger said, "They don't come out till fall," talking about the Dragon Ball Z shoes. He said, "This sucks." Scavenger says, "But I do get time to save up." That's the spirit. That's the better way to look at it. Getting back to the story stuff, I'm trying to cover boring stuff first. So I would say uneventful things work really well as being boring. So I was supposed to hang out with this girl Kendall today, not as a date, just to hang out for fun at like Dunkin', because we have a Dunkin' Donuts at the CU. And essentially, when I talked to her at a writer's block meeting not too long ago, she talked about how she's really bad with like commitment, and like she's more of a homebody and she doesn't like to go out. So I'm like, "Oh, so you're gonna ghost me? So you're gonna just not show up?" And then she's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna ghost you. I'm not gonna just not show up." And then I show up early, and then I get a text from her, and she's like, "Oh, I got the flu, and I feel shitty. Can we reschedule?" And then I'm like, "Oh, sure, it's flu season. That's understandable." Then I talked to my boy Winslow, and Winslow hung out with her Sunday, like a couple days ago. So she got the flu super recently and is sick and can't hang out. I don't know, I felt like it was an excuse somewhat to ghost, but at the same time, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. It's flu season, she probably just has the flu and feels shitty and doesn't want to hang out. Scavenger said, "I'll post up the Vegeta ones," referring to the Dragon Ball Z shoes, the Adidas Dragon Ball Z shoes. They have a Vegeta one apparently, which I haven't seen yet. He says that he'll post it on Amino, and then he said #Amino ad. We do have a Nick Benson Nation Amino. If you follow our Discord, there is a link there. I believe there's a video where we talk about it, and the link is in the description. Also published it in the Google Hangouts group, so there are a lot of different ways to find that Amino link. Bloody Baton said, "I know you talk shit saying I was fat, and I've become a villain, solely built on sabotaging your YouTube." I mean, that's an interesting storyline, Bloody Batons. But Bloody Batons, that actually sounds like a legitimate plot line. The only reason why I say that is because of the fact that your name is Bloody Batons, so if you were Blood Ninja, it's like you were given a hint the whole time that, like, I was actually Blood Ninja. And, I don't know, that seems like an interesting plot. Vegeta said, "What the fuck? They look like Yeezys and, like, Skechers," referring to the Dragon Ball Z Adidas shoes. What did you expect? They're like Dragon Ball branded shoes, so they're gonna look more colorful and flashy, like fancier types of shoes. Bloody Baton said, "I really am Blood Ninja." I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like until I ran into you, and then you said, "I am that guy, confirmed," I wouldn't be able to confirm it just through the chat. It's an interesting storyline, though. Like, if that actually is the case, I'd be like, wow, that's actually really cool. And I'd be glad that we reconnected, because I haven't talked to Blood Ninja in a really long time. But if you are Blood Ninja, that means I've been talking to Blood Ninja regularly. Vegeta said, I was expecting him to look like that, but like the regular Adidas shoes. Vegeta said, like the black and white ones, and with black ones with stripes. So he thought they would look a little bit more normal compared to like how they actually look. Because I agree with Vegeta that you don't have to go hard on these shoes to make them look good. You just need to get the colors right on a normal shoe, and it can just look fine. Blade Baton said, Neon Ninja thinks you're hot now, so I slapped her for saying that. I don't know, Bloody Batons. I'm still not convinced that you're Blood Ninja. Vegeta said, but he will, even though he feels like they could have been better style-wise, collect the Dragon Ball Z Adidas shoes. Then Vegeta said, wait, does it cost $1,000? I have no idea how much the Dragon Ball Z Adidas shoes cost, but I can imagine they're going to be expensive, considering the fact that it's like for a niche audience. Like, compared to the mass number of people who like Adidas shoes, the number of people who like Adidas shoes in like Dragon Ball is smaller, so it's going to cost more than just a normal Adidas shoe. Bloody Baton said, where's Jared? Jared's probably asleep or studying, but he's not here. Vegeta said, bruh. I'm glad that the Dragon Ball Z shoes could be like a solid talking point, but I do feel like we still gotta get to more stories. I got too many stories. Another like less interesting story, to get those out of the way. I woke up early so I could go to the Bevel Center to eat breakfast. When I got to the Bevel Center, I noticed that like the roof of my mouth was dry, and it was really annoying. I ended up getting a hot chocolate, and as always, when I start drinking my hot chocolate at the Bevel Center, it never fails that I like burn the tip of my tongue upon like initially drinking. It doesn't matter how careful I am, I'll fuck that up. And it was like a croissant bread instead of biscuits, so I got crumbs everywhere. It was really lame. Like, that's one of the boring stories I can get out of the way like pretty quickly, and there isn't like much to it. Let's see. Blade Baton said, I need Jared to give me life. Scavenger said, talk quick like the Flash. No thank you, I don't want anyone to miss any of the information. Vegeta said, Jared is under Nick giving him top. Blade Baton said, by the way, Jet, the graffiti in our neighborhood is still there. I believe that, because we reported the graffiti to like the non-emergency number or whatever, and I don't think anyone's gonna like fix that. It's good for them to know, because if more graffiti happens, maybe they can connect the dots on stuff. Vegeta said, Scavenger, can you check how much they cost? Referring to the Dragon Ball Z Adidas shoes. Blade Baton said, and someone is TPing houses again. This is a weird time of year to TP houses because it's wet and cold. Why would you want to be outside doing that? This is weird. Scavenger said, I got you, Pinky, so it seems like you're going to be checking the prices for the Dragon Ball Z Adidas shoes. Vegeta said, I've seen the calendar when they come out, so every month one of them comes out. So how many are out already? I feel like that's like a solid question. But anyways, getting back to the story stuff, also it looks like we lost a lot of viewership. We're now at like 2 viewers and 4 likes, and the video hasn't really started yet, and we're already like over 20 minutes. Blade Baton said, it was me, ha ha ha. He said, I've been TPing houses. What are you gonna do about it? Blade Batons, I do think this is an interesting storyline, but at the same time I don't seriously believe that you're actually Blood Ninja and that you're TPing houses. Scavenger said, they start till August of this year. They start till are you saying they don't start till August of this year? Okay, so in August we'll start getting more and more over time. Another story that I would like to tell. So I also hung out with Naya today. Naya's this one girl that I met on Tinder. But Naya made it clear that she just wanted to hang out as friends, play video games, watch anime, that kind of thing. So we meet up at the Charger Union, and we quickly realized that neither of us made an actual plan for what we'll do when we'll hang out. So I recommended that we walk around and we try to find something out. We have game rooms in Charter Union where you can play video games. We have another game room where it's like pool and ping pong. We now have 2 ping pong tables, which is interesting. So we go into the game room that has pool and ping pong, and the only thing that's open is ping pong. I fucking hate ping pong. So we didn't do that. So we went up to the game room to see if maybe we could find some stuff that we could play together. But there are less computers up in the game room now for whatever reason, and because of that, there was only one available computer, and we weren't just going to sit at the same computer and play a game. So we didn't do that. So then we walked around the CU, and we tried to find study rooms where we'd be able to, like, hook HDMI cables to flat screen TVs in the study rooms, and we could watch Netflix. But all the study room spaces were full, except in the student and organization section, there's a conference room where this one guy was stationed, and we were like, oh, no, he's here, so we can't do it. But he invited us in. He said, I'm going to be out in a few minutes, so you guys can use this room. So we tried to use the room, but the HDMI cord was strapped to the TV as like an anti-theft device kind of thing. And because of the way it was strapped, it wasn't long enough to plug into the laptop. So we couldn't use the conference room to watch Netflix either. Real quick, I'm going to read the chat and then jump back into the story. I kind of don't like ending the story part of the way through, but I like to read the live chat because I like to make sure that everyone stays involved. Blade Baton said, have you ever took a shit in the lion's den? No, I haven't. Vegeta said, you talked to them on Amino? So I do have a few girls that I've talked to on Amino. The main girl that I'm talking to on Amino is Skelly. And there has been more stuff with Skelly, but I'm going to save the Skelly stuff for closer to the end, because I do feel like that's more exciting. We're covering the less exciting stuff now, and then the more exciting stuff later. So Naya reveals that she lives at, like, Charger Village, which is, like, right across the street from where I live. So I was like, yo, at Charger Village there's a game room where you can go and you can plug in your laptop with the HDMI, and no one's ever there, and we can hang out, we can just watch Netflix. So Naya and I hung out in the game room, and I got her to jump into Lucha Underground. If you are not watching Lucha Underground on Netflix, you're missing out on some solid television, legitimately. I got her to jump in mid-season, mid-episode. I was like halfway through episode 6, and we loved it. It was great. She had a nice time, and I really dug hanging out. Let's see. Bloody Baton said, Neon Ninja's new hero name is the Cocksucker, giving people a blow when they need one. Bloody Batons, I feel like the joke is kind of old. Scavenger said, there is no official price now when it comes to the Dragon Ball Z Adidas shoes, and he apologized. Vegeta said, what amino do you use, bruh? I'm on Dating Amino, Neko Adoption Amino, Comic Maker Amino, Zodiac Dating Amino. There's another Dating Amino, but it has a rose as a symbol. And I think I'm on, like, Yandere Roleplay Amino or whatever. I'm on, like, a few. I'm on more than one. Professor Trevenant said, Baby Daddy is funny. Baby Daddy. What are you referring to? Also, don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. Vegeta said, there's different apps. He says, what do you mean? When you're on Amino, like, Amino is one app, right? On Amino, there are individual communities you can join. So I'm on, like, multiple Amino communities. So it's one app, but you can join as many communities as you want. Those certain communities are private, and you're not able to just jump in. Scavenger said, why roleplay? So why am I in, like, some roleplay communities? The reason why I'm on some roleplay communities on Amino is because they have, like, similar mechanics to a dating Amino, but it's not dating. And I know that's weird because it just is. It just is a weird thing. But there are a lot of Aminos where you can go on and essentially you're in, like, a roleplay dating scenario, but there's something weird about whoever you're dating. So there's, like, Nekos, where the other person is like, I'm a cat, but I'm also a person. And then you got the Yandere ones, where it's like, I'll kill anybody if they touch you. It's like, it's weird, but it's interesting in, like, just the right way to keep it entertaining. It's kind of like if you played a dating sim or something, but instead of the dating sim being, like, a virtual like AI. It's a person that you're talking to virtually, where you can have like a weird theme and weird story settings. Blade Baton said, "I'm dating your ex, Night Owl. Night Owl used to be a crime fighter with the Rock City Crime Fighters and everything." Scavenger said, "Bloody chill." So Scavenger's like, I'm not sure if he's feeling it either. I don't know. I just feel like it's been overheld. Professor Trevenant said, "Netflix show, and I thought you had a girlfriend." Oh, Baby Daddy is a funny Netflix show. I might check that out. Wait, I think I might have checked that out already. Does a baby pop up in front of like apartment, and in the apartment there are like three dudes, and all the dudes are gonna take care of this baby that like randomly showed up? Because I think I may have seen the first episode. But I had a girlfriend. I was dating Gabby with two B's, but we broke up. We dated for like 3 years. I realized that we weren't best friends, and I couldn't see myself going any further in a relationship with someone who I wasn't at least best friends with. Vegeta said, "Do you just search it up? When you're on Amino, there's a search bar, and you can search for communities by typing in the name of the communities. You can just find stuff." Vegeta said, "Role playing is weird. You gotta admit, a lot of the live chat stuff is role play, right?" I know that sounds weird, but think about it. There are plenty of people who jump onto these live streams, right? Who have like names that are based around themes, and they post things that are like very based in a specific personality, and they're not necessarily being themselves. They're playing a character on a live broadcast. So I feel like you're almost involved in a roleplay thing, but maybe not aware of it, if that makes sense. Vegeta, which is not your name, almost like a roleplay pseudonym. You know what I mean? Blade Baton said, Blade Baton said, "I'm Blood Ninja, and you shall take me seriously." Scavenger said, "Neko's cute though, so that makes sense." Then Vegeta said, "Bloody tampon." Then Scavenger said, "Yandere makes me scared." Vegeta said, "Nick doesn't care that he could get hoes in college." I mean, you're not wrong, because I'm not looking for that kind of thing. Professor Trevenant said, "Yes, and sorry, dude, the right one will come." "Oh, no problem, Professor Trevenant, it's fine." Professor Trevenant said, "I'm a Pokemon professor. What cosplay about that?" "Oh, you do, like, Pokemon cosplay? That's cool." Scavenger said, "Oh shit, you're tripping me out with the meta shiz." That was a pretty meta comment, not gonna lie. Vegeta said, "Scavenger, how much they cost?" I think he's still asking you about the Dragon Ball Z Adidas shoes. I think Scavenger said no prices have been posted up yet on that. But I could be wrong. Scavenger can tell you. Professor Trevenant said, "No, my name, dude, is sort of a roleplay." Oh, Professor Trevenant, like a Pokemon professor. So Professor Trevenant was referring to the meta-ness discussion about how the live chat is almost like a roleplay in its own right. Vegeta said, "They," so I think he not connected, but corrected something. Yeah, earlier he meant to say how much do they cost, referring to the Dragon Ball Z Adidas shoes, talking to Scavenger. Let's see, Blade Baton said, "Hey, what's up? I'm colorblind. What's that dog?" Scavenger said, "The price is TBC right now." Vegeta was like, "TBC? It's 2B, and then I don't know why you said TBC. Normally I hear TBA, and it's like to be announced. So I think the prices haven't been announced yet, but they will be, if I'm understanding Scavenger correctly." Scavenger said, "Fuck," to the meta. Like, he's not ready for the meta stuff. Vegeta said, "What?" Then Scavenger said the price is not out yet for the Dragon Ball Z Adidas shoes, which seems to be the situation based on what I've heard from Scavenger. Vegeta said, "Oh, okay. Cool. I'm glad that that can be sorted out." Man, oh yeah, but hanging out, oh yeah, Scavenger says it should be out in a few months, the prices for the Dragon Ball Z Adidas shoes. Professor Trevenant said, "Meta, the best." He said, "Ask my buddy, Deadpool." Blade Baton said they graduated high school. Congratulations, Blade Baton. So I'm glad to hear it. I hope that you're excited for the future, and that you're ready for action. Scavenger said, "I hope they cost no more than $250. Psh, I hope they cost no more than $60. I still think $60 is expensive for shoes, but I'm willing to spend up to $60 on shoes. No more." Professor Trevenant said, "Life is stupid." I enjoy life. I really dig life. I'd have to disagree. I'd say life is Well, I guess I can't disagree, because I feel like life is subjective, and it's whatever you really want to make of it. So if life is stupid to you, more power to you, I guess. It's one of those things. Blade Baton said that he's going to battle the good guys in Racine, Wisconsin. So Blade Batons is doing a lot of Rocket City Crime Fighter references. That almost makes me curious. Blade Batons, how frequently do you watch the old Crime Fighter videos? Because you're making so many references, it just makes me think that you watch them like a lot. Let's see, Scavenger said, I'm thinking of it as an investment and also as a collector's item. Collecting these Dragon Ball Adidas shoes. I could see that. Like, a way for you to possibly flip it in the future. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Professor Trevenant said, I battle every day to reach my rightful place. Interesting. The only reason why I said interesting in that way is because it low-key sounds dark, what you've said so far. The idea that you're like, life is stupid, followed by, I battle every day to reach my rightful place. It almost sounds like if it was a poem, I would imagine it was almost like you were, like, resisting suicide in that way. So I just want to ask if you're okay. Like, I don't want to make it into, like, a joke or anything. I just want to ask to see, like, are you alright? And is that, like, you talking about that kind of thing? Or was it just, like, a weird interpretation I made of your words? Blade Baton said, I'm going to battle the Arachnid and Riptide and Recon. Scavenger says, story time, before this becomes a Dragon Ball Z stream. We have done a lot of Dragon Ball Z stuff going on. Kratos said, Nick, get to the interesting stories. Lol, I gotta go to bed soon. True. A lot of people want to see the interesting story stuff that I was talking about. Feel free to still talk in the live stream, but I do want to also talk about the interesting stories. So I really enjoyed hanging out with Naya and watching the Luchador stuff. She loves video games, she loves anime, and she enjoyed watching Lucha Underground. When I asked Naya would she be interested in doing something like this again in the future, she said, I was actually going to ask you the same thing. I thought we were going to plan another date for next week, but she actually planned another date for this Thursday. So we're going to actually hang out twice this week. And again, Naya isn't romantically, like, interested in, like, hanging out. She just wants to hang out as friends. But so far I see that actually working out really well. The possibility of us being friends sounds really good. Blade Baton said, have you figured out who I am? Professor Trevenant said, lol, Pokemon theme, dude. He says, I'm good. I said life is stupid in response to life after school. Sorry, we had a stream error. Due to the stream error, you may experience a little bit of lag. But Scavenger said, you're Bloody Ninja. Trying to answer Blade Baton's question of, have you figured out who I am? Okay. Moving interesting. We had another stream error, so you guys may experience lag once again. I apologize for that. It's the Wi-Fi connection. So, more interesting stories. So, Chastity is this girl that I've been talking to on Tinder, and we've been talking via text because neither of us can drive. When it comes to the Chastity situation, I'm losing interest in Chastity mainly because, Professor Trevenant said, but the secret part is a lyric from the Pokemon theme. Oh, cool. That actually is pretty cool. It's like a reference. So, jumping back in, I'm losing interest in Chastity mainly because of the fact that early on while talking to Chastity, she, like, jumped the extra mile, and Bloody Batons did a whole thing about flush and poo-poo. I feel like it's kind of irrelevant. I don't know. Sometimes there's no reason to interject if the joke isn't really even, like, the best you can do. I know you can do better, Bloody Batons. You've done better content. I've lost interest in Chastity because early on she was sending me a lot of messages that was like, oh, my parents will love you, I can't wait to introduce you to my family, blah, 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 blah. She's like, I really care about hanging out. Bloody Batons is like, repeat what I just typed. I don't know, it seems like you just want to interrupt the stories for whatever reason and prolong the live stream, even though certain people only have a limited time to watch and are interested in hearing about the stories. But talking about the Chastity thing. Chastity, I'm losing interest because she essentially, like, upsailed the idea that we would be, like, a really good couple and that we would, like, hang out and that her family would love me. But as of recent, Chastity has been really distant. When talking to Chastity about her distance, she gave me a story that explained why she has trouble really connecting with people. Then essentially Chassie and I got back on level. We were talking more. Then Chassie sent me a message where she said that she wasn't interested in me, and I was like, oh, okay. Then she was like, oh, no, I didn't mean to send that to you. I meant to send that to somebody else. And now recently she sent me a message that was like, who dis? And then I was like, hey, I'm kind of losing interest. It's kind of getting dumb. And then she's like, oh, I lost the contacts on my phone. So I didn't know that, like, you actually were just trying to, like, talk or whatever, because I didn't know it was you. But I'm losing interest in Chastity pretty quickly. Like, I don't really care for all that. It's too much extra. I have a really big story that I want to tell, but I'm trying to pace it to where, like, I save the big story for the end, the interesting, exciting story for the end. So I gotta, like, hold myself back. I'm talking to this one girl, Tiara, that's on Tinder as well. Tiara, Kratos said Nick in all caps. I gotta tell all the stories, Kratos. I can't just skip to the end and just blow my load on the stories. They're supposed to get more interesting as they go on and then get to the really interesting story. I've been talking, Kratos said, get to the big story. He said, I gotta go to bed soon. So Tiara, long story short on the Tiara thing, so I can get past it. Tiara's cool. She doesn't have a car, so we can't really hang out, but she's into anime, and we talk about, like, anime and stuff. But recently she talked about, like, the supermoon. The moon's supposed to be really big in the sky, which is cool, and there's going to be an eclipse in the morning, which is cool. And she talked about, like, crystals, and she wants to have this crystal collection and charging gemstones and stuff, and astrology. So she seems to be, like, into magic, and I really like talking about magic, and rarely do I find people that I can talk about stuff like that with, so I find that really cool. Bam! That's the Tiara thing. Let's just, like, get through that now. Next story, in, like, order of interest, I guess I probably have messed up the order by this time. I asked this one girl out, named Mary. Well, her name's, like, Mary Grace or whatever. So, Scavenger said, she's a witch, the mythical ladies with magic. Professor Trevenant said, magic, that's how I got 2 girlfriends. Blade Baton said, shut. Kratos said, Nick, you can talk to me about it. He says, I'm big into magic and stuff like that. We have nearly identical religious beliefs. You're right, Kratos. I'm surprised we don't talk about magic more, now that you mention it. Train of thought. I like, dropped it. I had it a second ago. Blade Baton said, can you astral project to me? It's actually interesting that you mentioned that. I've been thinking more about that as I've been doing the Table of Chartres meditation that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, talking about how that research paper claims that it allows your consciousness to transcend the 4th dimension or whatever. Let's see, Professor Trevenant said, all 3 of us should do another magic video. That would be cool, to do a video where we talked about magic more. Scavenger said, astral projection. Vegeta said, yee. Welcome back, Vegeta. It seems like we're getting into the magic thing now, in a similar way that we got into the Dragon Ball Z Adidas shoes earlier. Also, the viewership shifted hard. It went from 6 to 4, and now it's back up to 5. Also, we have 5 viewers and 4 likes. Make sure you smash that like button if you're enjoying what you watched so far. Kratos said, you should talk more to me about that thing you just mentioned. The meditation thing. Most definitely. Worst case scenario, if I'm unable to talk to you soon, make sure you hit up the beginning of the video, and I mentioned all that stuff before. Blade Baton said, isn't Chris Redfield your favorite Capcom dude? Chris! No, Chris isn't my favorite, but we have a meme about it in the Fighting Central group, which is why we do that Chris thing a lot. But he's not my favorite character. Scavenger said, I left, then came back. Welcome back, Scavenger. Scavenger said, was Bloody Ninja white? Like, was Blood Ninja white? Yes, Blood Ninja was white. Stories. I'm trying to get back into high gear. Okay, Skelly. Skelly dropped a bomb recently. So, essentially, Skelly is who I've been talking to on Amino for the longest. And me and Skelly have, like, a really good chemistry. We talk all the time via Amino, again. But we've yet to have, like, an actual, like, date. Even if it would just be, like, a phone call date, or, like, we watch YouTube together via Amino, or we just play a game together. We haven't had, like, a solid date. But she mentioned to me that she is having, like, stronger feelings for me. Like, she feels for me romantically. And I was very surprised by that, because of the fact that we haven't done a date or anything like that. It's definitely good news to hear, but I just didn't expect it so soon, and I just feel sad that I can't say the same thing for Skelly. It's not that I don't like Skelly, but until I get to know her better, I can't say that I like her romantically in that way. It also feels weird only because Chastity did a really similar thing, where Chastity like said that she really liked me and that she was really into me, and then Chastity like started essentially ghosting and getting more distant. I'm not saying that Skelly would do that, but having those two things within such a close time frame is really weird. Also, Kratos brought up a really good point. Skelly lives in Texas, so it would be like a long distance thing, and we'd have to work out that and work forward with it and how it would work. And like try and figure that out. Professor Trevenant said, I know how to astral project sometime when I sleep. He says, I see the thing from the next day or appear in random places that are more real than dreams. That actually is really interesting. I think we should do a whole stream where we just talk about magic stuff. Blade Baton says, she dropped a bomb, as in a poop in a toilet? Nope. Scavenger said, you might be Blood Ninja, but I call BS. Blade Baton said, you can blow my load, Scavenger. Let's see. Then Blade Baton continues to say, hey, I'm actually Blood Ninja, da-da-da-da, and then Scavenger's like, nah, I ain't gay. Moving on from the Skelly thing, Kratos said, I get deja vu daily due to my dreams. Interesting. Like I said, we should do a whole stream that's based on that. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh!, because Kratos really wanted a Nexus stream tonight, I do want to do a whole stream where I talk about what if the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card that we talked about recently, me and Ryan, is the first, like, it's the boss monster for, like, a new archetype, as, like, a hypothetical thing, nothing confirmed. And I would describe what I would want that archetype to do, and I would design fake cards. Yeah, Skuldy. So I'm thinking about doing that. But that'll be a full edited video. It won't be like a live stream, but it'll be like I made the images, and it'll be my voice over the images with music and stuff like that. Let's see. Scavenger said he used to also get the dream deja vus. Professor Trevenant said, Kratos, I know the feeling. Blade Baton said that he's the chosen one, he's going to save the world. And Scavenger says now it only happens every 3 to 6 months, where he'll have, like, a deja vu dream, or, like, a predictive dream of the future. Okay. So I think we're at the point where I can tell the most interesting story. I feel like more stuff happened, and I'm going to forget stuff. But I guess I can always cover stuff like that later. So, the most interesting story. So today I was supposed to go on a date with a girl who will not be named. She won't be named because the story has a few interesting twists in it, and I'm not going to, jump into that yet. Let's see. Kratos said, you should make a video creating a Greek mythology-based archetype. You should do that, Kratos, because you've talked about that before, and I feel like you do a good job at it. Professor Trevenant said, with the kids' card game. Bloody Baton said, I'm going to stop the darkness from taking over because of my powers. Bloody Baton, through this one stream, has talked about a whole bunch of stuff from back in the day. Let's see. Scavenger said, Kim Jong-illa. We have 6 viewers and 4 likes. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. As soon as I said it, it jumped back down to 4. So, I was supposed to go on a date tonight with a girl. Oh shit, we have 6 likes. Thank you kindly. I was supposed to go on a date with a girl who would not be named, only because a lot of crazy stuff happens in the story, and I don't want to get her name mixed up in more stuff on the internet or whatever. So, while I was waiting for her to show up, because she doesn't go to UAH, so she had to drive to pick me up, I was waiting by Dunkin' Donuts, which is the same place where Scavenger said privacy. We get it. Makes sense. So I was waiting by Dunkin' Donuts, which is the same place where I waited earlier today to hang out with Kendall, who didn't show up, so she kind of ghosted me. But she had the flu, or at least she says she had the flu. And then Naya, who I did hang out with, I actually did meet her at Dunkin'. So today has been hit or miss when it comes to hanging out with people. Oh shit, I told a story about Mary Grace earlier, and I didn't finish it. Long story short on the Mary Grace story, I asked her out. I didn't think she'd say yes. She said yes. We're going to have a date next week. Moving on. So I'm hanging out at Dunkin'. It's been hit or miss when it comes to meeting up with girls at Dunkin' today, because I've been like 1-0. No, it's not 1-0. 1-1. So one miss and one we hung out and it was great. Professor Trevenant said I need donut holes. Blade Baton said a thing about being an immortal being that can teleport and stab people. If he suddenly teleported in and stabbed me, I gotta say that would be a hard plot twist. Not gonna lie. But essentially, I was waiting and she hit me up with a text that said that she might be running a little bit late, and then it went past like the time that she was supposed to show up. So I started thinking to myself like, she might not show up. I turn around and behind me I see the Star Wars hat or whatever, right? Professor Trevenant said, I need you to be a wingman one day because you get all the crazy women, lol. Thank you kindly, Professor Trevenant. I turn around and I see this girl wearing a Star Wars hat, and I recognize like her hair, and it's Catriel. If you guys have ever seen a stream where I talk about Catriel before, then you already know the story. If you haven't, long story short, Catriel is a girl in high school that I met who up to this day is still the most beautiful girl I've ever met. Like aesthetically, I feel like there isn't a girl that looks better than Catriel. So when I see Catriel, I always am like prone to go over and talk to her and stuff like that. Catriel knows that I like her, and I've told Catriel in the past that because I had a girlfriend, I just wanted to be friends. She said that she was attracted to me as well, but she had a boyfriend, so she just wants to be friends kind of thing. So we've just agreed to be friends, but I still kind of have feelings for Catriel. So I turn around and I see her, and I want to like get up and like go talk to Catriel, but I think about how like I have a girl that's already coming to hang out, and it would be weird to have like them and Catriel there. Then I notice that there's a guy with his arm around Catriel, and it's Catriel's boyfriend, who also has like a big beard and everything. And I don't know, I look at Catriel's boyfriend and I immediately go like, nah, that would be like super awkward. It'd be even more awkward than the earlier situation that made me think that I shouldn't do it. So I turn around and look in front of me, and who do I see waiting in line in Dunkin', talking with one of my friends, but Alexandria. If you don't know who Alexandria is, she's a girl that I went on a date with last year. She said that she had a good time. She rated it like an 8 out of 10. We scheduled another date for the next week. The next week comes. I message her like, hey, are you available for the date? She doesn't message me back. She doesn't show up. I haven't talked to her since. So I see Alexandria talking with one of my friends at Dunkin', the place where I went on a date with Alexandria, and it just felt like it was a really weird situation, because essentially I felt like, hey, I might be about to get stood up, and here's a girl that did stand me up, and she's like right in front of me, and then here's a girl behind me that I like really like, but I like friend zoned myself in the past. I retroactively friend zoned myself, and like I can't talk to her because I'll feel out of place if I hang out with her and her boyfriend. So it was awkward. It was super awkward. So I ended up sitting down and just playing Card Monsters and hanging out. So after playing Card Monsters for a little bit, I noticed I missed a text from her, and she said that she's arrived. So I look over at the entrance door, and she walks in, and she had sent me a text that told me that she was like 5'11", and she wanted to make sure that I was okay with that, because a lot of guys think she's shorter based off her pictures. I didn't think she was going to be shorter, but I thought I was closer to 5'11". I don't know if it was her shoes or what, but she's 5'11", but I think she was like this tall. She seemed taller than me. I'm not sure if that was my perspective or what, but I was very surprised by that. That's not a deal breaker for me. I have friends who would straight up have not gone on that date at that point. But essentially, we talked for a little bit. I asked her what she wants to do. We already talked about going to see some live jazz, which is something that I've always wanted to do, but haven't. Bloody Baton said, you're 5'9". Now, what's interesting about what Bloody Baton said is I think that's what it says on my license. That's very specific. Professor Trevenant said, thank you, but I just beaten an evil giant in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm more of a hero in card game standards. Interesting. Oh, I think he's reacting to something Bloody Baton said earlier that I didn't read. But anyways, so we already discussed that we were going to listen to live jazz, which is something that I've wanted to do for a really long time, but I haven't really had a chance. It's something that I've done in Second Life. Like, in an opportunity where I could do anything in a virtual world and I could fly and all this kind of shit, I chose to go to a jazz club because I've always wanted to go to a jazz club. Like, that's the kind of thing that I would do. So, what I ended up doing was, I went... Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we walk out of the Charger Union, and she turns to me, and she goes... And I didn't hear what she said. My ear didn't pick it up at all. But I assumed because we hadn't really discussed how our days were, that she just asked me how I was. And I said, fantastic as always, thank you for asking. To which then she just kind of looks at me, and I'm like, oh, that's clearly not what she said. So I tell her, hey, I didn't hear what you said. I just kind of assumed you asked me what my day was. To which then she reiterates, do you want to get high? So it was really weird. Because that was like the last thing I expected her to say. And I also felt weird because that means that her whole plan for hanging out was, I'm going to run into this guy that I've never met before, and then I'm going to immediately offer him drugs. That was, I don't know, I didn't see that coming. Younger me in that situation would have immediately called the date off and just not fucked with her at all. I just wouldn't have done anything. But what I did was I felt like I should give her the benefit of the doubt or whatever, and I shouldn't just say because she does drugs it makes her a bad person or anything. Scavenger said, this is funny. Oh, thank you kindly. We lost a like, sadly. We went down from 6 likes to 5 likes or whatever. But old me would have just dismissed her, but instead I said, Professor Trevenant said, what with you and poop? Is that some sort of a kink? Referring to Bloody Batons. Bloody Batons makes a lot of poop jokes. Oh, we went back to 6 likes. That's great. So, and then we went back to 5. I kind of saw it coming. So, what I ended up doing is I told her, like, I'm above the influence of drugs and alcohol. It's just not my thing. And Scavenger said, weed does not make you bad, just how going to church does not make you good. That's true facts. I agree with what Scavenger said, most definitely. Just because people may not do lawful things doesn't mean that they're bad people morally. I agree with that wholeheartedly. So I explained to her that I'm above the influence of drugs and alcohol, and she actually said, like, oh, that's really interesting, because most people aren't like that. Professor Trevenant said that he doesn't believe in God. That's perfectly fine as well. I've already shared my religious beliefs before. I believe that, like, all gods from all religions exist and that they all kind of deserve respect in their own way, but I kind of have a bias toward, like, the religious figures that I was, like, raised on kind of thing. But it's perfectly fine to believe, like, whatever you want to believe kind of thing. I believe that everyone's beliefs should be accepted just because there's no reason to reject them. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to ostracize people for their beliefs. You should just let them live life the way they want to. So that's perfectly fine. So I explained to her that I'm above the influence. She actually is like, oh, that's cool. It's perfectly fine that you're above the influence, and I'm down with that. Professor Trevenant said Rick Riordan made a shared universe that had badass Egyptian, Greek, and Roman gods. Yeah, kind of like that. Like, my beliefs are that all of them are real and they all are existent, but I like to focus mainly on the concept of a source, like a source for everything. I think if there was any one that I would mentally put higher than, like, anything else, it would be this non-sentient entity that just generated everything. Is where everything comes from. But regardless of that, moving forward. Let's see. Kratos said Rick Riordan is his favorite author. Bloody Baton said, I believe in Jared. Professor Trevenant said, better than believing the new Ben 10 is good. The new Ben 10 is fire, Professor Trevenant. Have you seen the new Accelerate? Bruh. But anyways, moving forward. So she admires the fact that, like, I don't do drugs and I don't drink, and she even goes as far as to not smoke. Because I thought when I said no, that she would still smoke anyways. Let's see. Kratos said that he likes the original entity Chaos from Greek mythology. Blade Baton said Teen Titans Go is better than the original. That is a very unpopular opinion, but I have to say I do enjoy Teen Titans Go. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's better than the original series. But that being said, I'm glad that she didn't smoke, because she could have easily, after I said, "Oh no, I'm good," herself gotten fucked up. So it's whatever. But essentially, I got into her car, to which then she quickly revealed this is not her car, which is kind of suspect. She said it was like a friend's car, to which then later she revealed it's her sister's car, but it still is really suspect, and it was weird. So we were trying to decide what we would do before we went to the jazz club and listened to like live jazz music. So I mentioned that I'm like into anime and comic books and all kinds of stuff, right? And she says I know the perfect place, so she takes us to Pints and Pixels. Yo, Vanessa Brooks, welcome to the stream. Don't forget to smash that like button. It's good to have you. Professor Trevenant said the comic Teen Titans Go is better, and it continued the story after the final episode. The comic of Teen Titans Go? Are you referring to like a comic that extended the original Teen Titans series, or a comic that goes with the Teen Titans Go series? Because the Teen Titans Go series, as far as I'm aware, is still ongoing. Scavenger said, "Hey, Vanessa Brooks, welcome to the stream." So, me and the girl that will not be named end up going to Pints and Pixels, which in my mind I'm thinking, I don't really want to do Pints and Pixels. Like, she took us there because I said I like video games, but Pints and Pixels is a shitty arcade bar. And the only reason why I say it's shitty is because it uses the coin system. Most arcades that I like are arcades that have unlimited play-based systems. You pay one fee, and then you play for as long as you want. So when we went to Pints and Pixels, she actually ate there. We like sat down at a table, and I didn't even know people did that. I thought it was just a bar where you could drink, but they have food items. So she got like grilled cheese sandwiches and stuff, and I got a water. And apparently with every drink and meal order, you get tokens. And I'm like, oh shit, but water's free. So if you get a water, you can play games at Pints and Pixels for no money? I kind of fuck with that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So I talked to her, and I learned that she doesn't really eat meat. She goes to A&M, but she doesn't really like it because A&M is practically the Africa of Alabama. It's where all the black kids end up going. Like all of them. Way more than you expect. Way more than you can handle at once. So right now, well, hold on. I need to read some of the live chat because I'm missing stuff. Kratos and Vanessa Brooks talked with each other. Bloody Baton said something about poop. Professor Trevenant said, yes, it extended the original series, and when the show first came out, I was not sad. It was that I was sad because the comic would have been a better sequel series. That's actually an interesting position to hold. Blade Baton said, alright boys, keep it in your pants. Miss Brooks has much better dudes lined up for her than you. Kratos said, ouch, I'm not even like that. Kratos took that personally, Bloody Batons. He was like, damn. I am somewhat surprised that no one's, like, tried to hit up Vanessa Brooks in a genuine way, like, to ask her out on stream. Let's see. Scavenger said, oof. Then Professor Trevenant said, Vanessa, lol, I see what you did there. Then Scavenger said, bruh, I'm not trying to smash. Then Blade Vuitton said, well, y'all got excited like you have a chance with her. Then Scavenger said, she prob, not a pedo. Vanessa Brooks has declared her age. She's like my age. So she would be like around our age. She's not like a way older person or anything weird like that. Also, it's weird to talk about Vanessa Brooks like she's not here. Isn't she still in the chat with us? I don't know. But anyways, moving forward. So I learned that like the girl who will not be named is really into fighting games, and her dad's really into fighting games, and that they really like Mortal Kombat, which is a garbage series except for 9. Mortal Kombat 9 is fire. Also, I noticed we got a new viewer. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. And we ended up playing a few fighting games, and she lost at all of them. We played Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and we played Mortal Kombat 2, and she didn't win in either game. Professor Trevenant said, Vanessa, are you still here? How's it been? Let's see. So after we played arcade games for a little bit at Pints and Pixels, I was actually really surprised that she didn't drink at Pints and Pixels, because I don't know, I expected that she would drink and then I would play video games. Blade Batons is like, also, why is it that everybody's asking how she is and they're not asking about other people? I like that Blade Batons is calling everybody out. He's like, are you sure you guys aren't trying to smash? He's like, oh, nobody asked me how I was doing. Kratos said, maybe before you try to go off on other people, Bloody Baton, you should actually type properly rather than your broken English that makes you look like a 13-year-old girl. Damn. Blade Baton said, you guys are horn dogs. Vanessa Brooks said, I'm playing Dissidia app game, and yes. Wait, is the Dissidia Final Fantasy app game for your phone out? Professor Trevenant said, bloody, you keep on talking about poop. Then Scavenger said, oh shit. Then Vanessa Brooks said, yes. How is the Dissidia app? She said it's awesome. She said it before I could even answer. Blade Baton said, don't try to turn this around on me. The conflict is interesting, not gonna lie. Professor Trevenant said, cool. Okay, nice. I didn't pre-reg for the Dissidia one. Scavenger said, bloody, you basic. So me and the girl who will not be named end up going to the live music thing. And I've actually been to the live music place before, but I've never gone inside. So we went in through like these two like big wooden double doors, and I thought we were inside. But then we got walked by a waiter through another set of doors. Then we got walked through like a plastic like screen, and then we got walked to another set of doors, and that's where the jazz club is. The building was way bigger than I thought it was. It was ridiculous. I don't know why there's so many doors to get to this one place. But when we got there, let's see, Blake Baton said, I'm not the one trying to get with a girl on the internet. Scavenger said, go hit up my Insta at Christian the Spider. Kratos said, well, I gotta go to bed. I had to go an hour ago, but oh well, lol. Sorry, Kratos, that like I wasn't able to finish the story in time, and I hope that you have a wonderful night. Professor Trevenant said, lol. Vanessa Brooks said, Dragon Ball FighterZ is awesome. Oh, I'm glad you like it. We also have multiple Dragon Ball FighterZ videos on the channel if you're interested in checking them out. Kratos says, see you later, Nick. Professor Trevenant did a laugh cycle. Then Kratos said, good night, Vanessa, and no one else. Bloody Baton said, good night, boys. Love you. Then Scavenger said, Dragon Ball FighterZ looks dope. It is. And like I said, we have multiple videos on the channel with Dragon Ball FighterZ content if you'd like to check them out. Scavenger said I was going to get that or shoes today. He said I got shoes. Professor Trevenant said, see ya. Okay, solid. Vanessa Brooks said, is Android 21 a Majin? I feel like that's spoilers for people who haven't played the game. Professor Trevenant said, it's my favorite game to play for fun. Interesting. Moving forward. So we're at the jazz club and we're hanging out, and a lot of people from A&M are there. So there are a lot of people that the girl who will not be named knows, but there are people that I don't know for the most part, because I don't go to A&M. I don't really talk to a lot of black people. Nothing against them. It's just there are not a lot of them here, like at my university in the first place. So we're hanging out, and at one point she gets a phone call where she says, I'm on. We just had 2 connection errors in a row, so you guys may be experiencing some lag. My apologies. Excuse me. Also, my apologies for the burp. So, which I'm glad. I'm glad that it wasn't a casual interaction, and that her friend doesn't go, oh yeah, me too. So, I ask her, hey, can I, like, get a ride back to my dorm before you do all this extra stuff? Like, nothing against you. I just don't want to be involved in all this extra. Because the worst thing that could have happened, I feel, is for us to have jumped in the car and then her taking me to her house and had a conflict with the police while I was there. Because she also offered me drugs, which also implies that she has illegal contraband in the car. And I don't know, it's too much. It's too much bullshit. So we ride in the car together. She tells me about how she got revenge on one of her ex-boyfriends a while ago, and her revenge was in the form of spitting in all his drinks, licking his donuts, and hiding his car keys and shit. It was really petty, and she defended her younger self, but then she followed it by saying, oh, what I did was wrong, and that she shouldn't have done it, but it made her seem really irresponsible, and I had fun hanging out with her. She dropped me off at the dorm, and we were gonna plan another date, but she needs to get her work schedule in so that she knows exactly when she'll like be free, so that we'll be able to do another date. But I can't really see myself in this girl who I will not name for obvious reasons, due to her like weird possible criminal history. um, I could see us being friends. I mean, she likes fighting games. She watches anime and stuff like that. But due to all the extra this in her life, I could see us just being friends. I couldn't see us like just dating. So, when it comes to like all the girls that I've hung out with today and girls that I've talked to today, I would say that Tiara is cool because Tiara is like into magic and anime and stuff like that. Skelly is really cool. Skelly has romantic interest in me, and I've been talking to Skelly for a long time. But I want to know more about Skelly before I like pursue her further. Naya's really cool, and I definitely could see Naya being a really good friend. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a really good friend that I could potentially see as being more than friends. So I'm interested in seeing if Naya over time will gain romantic interest. I don't know. I'm not interested in Chastity. I've lost interest in Chastity due to her just being kind of flaky. I'm surprised that I'm going to be going on a date with Mary Grace next week. I thought she just was going to be like, no. I have a date with Danica this Friday, so that'll be interesting. That'll be really cool. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure that I've named all the girls that I'm interested in, or not interested in anymore, and like the dates that I'm going to be going on. But for the most part, I would say I'm really interested in talking to Skelly, and trying to figure out if Skelly and I are really like compatible. I want to see how my date with Danica will go in comparison to my date with the girl who will not be named. And I don't know. I just have like a lot on my plate. I wanted to share it with you all, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know the live chat conversation has kind of gone downhill. It's mainly related to what's been going on with Bloody Batons and some conflict stuff there. I just scrolled through real quick. But yeah, thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like this video. Favorite, comment, subscribe, and you need to ring that bell so be notified whenever we do these live streams. Scavenger said, this is a bad chat right now. It happens. It happens. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. Scavenger said, great video. Oh, thank you kindly. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. Peace.